Talking Biscuit boy, proud. Static crackles like a rattlesnake's tail. Voices rolling like a freight train wheel. Cornbread man, Biscuit boy, talking live love and southern joy. Cornbread man, Biscuit boy, raise your glass, make some noise. Gravy drips in the southern drawl. Stories thick like the cypress tall. Radio rebels riding wild and free, shouting truths like a storm at sea. Hey, hey, can you feel that beat? Boots on the floor, fire in the heat. Cornbread man, Biscuit boy, talking live love and southern joy. Cornbread man, Biscuit boy, raise your glass, make some noise. Tells the dirt roads, whiskey skies that cut through the night like fireflies. Laughter echoes through the pines, two voices cross them county lines.
Oh yeah,
Wheels down.
coming in for the landing. Welcome to the Cornbread Man and Biscuit Boy Morning Show. Happy Saturday. That deserves another applause. Saturday. A rainy Saturday, absolutely.
Thank you, Lord Jesus. We need the rain. My yard was looking kind of brown. Not brown, but you know how Bermuda and all that grass stuff goes.
I was listening to a guy yesterday that was on one of the morning shows locally. He's a exterminator.
Right.
Getting nice getting on TV. I'm sure he got a lot of calls. I think he's been there before. Anyway, not normally do you hear exterminators on ads or in person talk about ticks, but they were talking about it has, we've went through a real wet season for a while, but it had dried out. It was actually, we're kind of in drought conditions. Nice to get the rain. He was talking about, I never thought about it. I mean, just something, I don't really think about. I mean, I think about going out in the woods and, getting ticks. I think about that. Always checking when, coming from outdoors, especially in the wood lines and stuff, check the kids. I get all that. I've done some hikes. I've done some history tours, and I've had them jump on me. But what got me about this one was he was talking about, as dry as it has been, that a lot of people make the mistake. They'll get that pine straw mulch and all that, and ticks will just, it's warm to them. They'll bed in there. But he even went further and said, if you have bought some and brought it home, you've brought ticks home. You've already got it in there.
Well, I just put down 160 bags of it.
He said that you will have ticks if you have new, because they're already in there because they're there from where they produced it, and they're getting warm. They're building nests. So something to think about.
It is something to think about, but it's kind of hard to put a broad brush on that. You can't just say all pine bark mulch has ticks in it. That's not necessarily true.
Well, that was
I would
his.
say
That was his take on it.
right. I would say he's probably right. There are ticks in a lot of it, but I haven't experienced any ticks with what we put down, and I'm out there in it, quite a bit, and I haven't had a tick yet. But on that same note, I did hear something very interesting. A certain pharmaceutical company just came out with a Lyme disease vaccine.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
And people around that certain area where this vaccine was made, all of a sudden, these farmers were finding not just a few, but boxes of ticks. And they're wondering if they had been released somehow, if they had been growing these things, however, they do ticks. I don't know how a tick works, to be honest with you. I don't know if they're asexual or trisexual or
I don't have a clue.
But
I can also say I've never explored that.
Yeah. But I thought that was very interesting because that sounds, like some sort of sabotage, or not sabotage, but it sounds like
Beastie Boys sabotage.
Some people would do. I'll put it that way.
That would be a horrible thing. Can you imagine unleashing a tick army? I mean, think about it.
They unleashed COVID on us. I wouldn't put it past anybody.
I mean, you just imagine
anything.
Wow.
I really worry, Cornbread Man, about our water. I worry about our water because if you're going to attack somebody, the way to do it is through their water system.
Oh, that's always because you got to have you can go
have clean drinking.
You can go without food for a bit, but you got to have water very often.
That's right.
Yeah, he was just saying that they'll come out and do an inspection and for free unless it was way out they charge $20, but that he said they'll let you know whether you have them or not. So I don't know. I guess that he said you just have to start looking down through there because they'll bury up in there and build the nest.
They will. I've had
for you. I mean, it might not even be you, but I think a Howie running around. Got doors.
Oh yeah, he's checked all the time. I mean, that dog. His mother goes from the tip of his nose to the tip of his tail. Oh, she goes over him checking.
Oh yeah. I wasn't
all the time
suggesting you weren't. I'm just saying.
Oh no, I know
he
that.
would be exposed more,
right,
or a lot.
Exactly.
As he runs outside doing
and
dog
he runs
things.
through the woods a lot.
Yeah.
But
the rain will help. I mean, we knocked the pollen down. It's been horrible.
Oh, it has.
It's had me choked up for shows for 3 weeks.
I've been very fortunate. I don't have a lot of allergy issues. I do have sinus issues, so I guess you could, say that is kind of related. But I have a deviated septum, and my nose has been broken like 7 times.
So it's like a crooked highway going different ways in there.
Yeah, it's all discombobulated up in there.
I usually have the problem a couple of times a year.
Right.
Fall and spring, or usually as it starts getting into warming up. I mean, your car is like a green comet
Exactly.
down the road.
Looks kind of like what was that kid on Charlie Brown? Had dust around him all the time.
Big Ben.
Big Ben. Yeah. Looked like Big Ben driving down the road.
It's around this time of year, and hello, Dolly, on the Instagram side.
Hello, Dolly.
Yeah, hello, Dolly. It's around this time of year they do the, they do a lot of things to the planes and choppers. They do the drops.
Right.
To control certain things. They do
I've been doing controlled burns all over.
Controlled burns. We've seen a lot of that.
One got out of hand, apparently.
Apparently.
Yeah.
A lot of people with breathing issues have been complaining, but you have to do your forest management. They do a good job around here of doing that.
That's the reason why we don't have forest fires.
Yeah. So
because we do have good forest management.
They do. They've been doing that.
The polo fields, back up through McDonald there, Bend About Farms.
Yeah.
It's a huge, huge facility, thousands of acres back through there. But they were doing a controlled burn, and my entire neighborhood, because it comes right up the ridge there, it looked like a thick cloud of fog had settled in. It was all smoke. I mean, you could walk outside and just choke just about.
Yeah, it was pretty rough. I remember a few years ago, they had the ridges around Hickson. Almost all of them were on fire.
Yeah.
And I remember having to go. I was doing, the second job, rolling through patrol for security.
Right.
They had to do the cemetery. And I remember going up there one night. I'd already been up there, but it was nighttime. The whole cemetery was covered in smoke.
Wow.
You could see all the ridges on fire. It was creepy, man. And you're thinking, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, thank goodness there's an interstate cut through or something. We could be surrounded by fire.
Right. I will tell you one of the wildest things I think I've ever seen. We were on a cruise ship in Hawaii. We went and did an island hopping thing. We went to all the islands and stayed a few days. And one of the main draws for the cruise was they go by Mount Kilauea at night. And
Cool.
there's always lava running. It's always doing something. And it was so wild to see the red rivers running down the mountainside, but it was really, really cool. I tried to get some pictures of it. I'll see if I can find them.
Yeah, and it's not been.
But the weird thing is,
Nothing's stopping that. It burns whatever it meets.
Well, 2 weeks after we left, it erupted. That's when they had that big eruption.
Oh yeah.
2 weeks. And I hate to say this, and I think I've said it on here before, but I can't think of the name.
Oh, the city that burnt.
Yeah,
area.
we were there 2 weeks before it burned.
Yeah.
They don't want us to come back to my Hawaii.
Lahaina or Lahaina? What was that?
Lahaina.
Lahaina.
That's it, Lahaina.
Yeah. And then it's been a few years now, but Gatlinburg it destroyed so many cabins up there. As that wind was moving, that fire swept through. Those videos were crazy.
And I want to tell you what, that was mismanagement right there. That was gross negligence as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I mean, unbelievable.
I
knew a guy.
A lot of those people still haven't been paid.
I knew at the time he was working for, I think that was AT&T or something like that, and they went up there for weeks, putting up your fiber optics and stuff back up.
Yeah,
huge money. You had to stay there. They gave you per diems, hotel.
Same thing up through North Carolina.
Yeah,
where the hurricane went.
Yeah, but those lines have got to go back up. So you agree to be away from home for a while, and you're making mega money. And people want their stuff back. You
know what they're finding out now? That we can control the weather. That's the reason why we've had all these chemtrails. That's coming out. They denied it for years. Oh no, there's no such thing as a chemtrail. That's just the exhaust from the airplanes. No, that exhaust evaporates. These chemtrails don't. That's the reason why you see them all along. They run for miles, hundreds and hundreds of miles.
There's areas of Georgia right now that's on fire. I mean, South Georgia, middle South Georgia.
Yeah.
And there was actually a guy commentary on one of the news channels that I saw online this last night, and he was calling for, them to seed the clouds and stuff right now. He said, "I know it's controversial, but let's get some rain going."
They can do it.
They can do it.
But if they admit it, then you're gonna see the way they do it, and they can go back and see how they turned that hurricane and went right up through Appalachia. It was intentional.
Mm.
Those people didn't have flood insurance. They live on a mountain.
Yeah.
Nobody had flood insurance up there.
No.
But they found cobalt, found a huge deposit of cobalt in that same area just a couple of months before.
Hmm.
And the people said, no, we do not want a mine up in here. Guess what? Most of those people haven't been able to build back.
Yeah, they didn't have no money. They got no money. They're poor people.
HARP, yep. That's exactly right. That's the name of the group, Broski. Thank you, sir. How you doing this morning, Broski?
And another thing we get around here, because we are this humid southeastern United States, is they'll come through with a truck spraying for the mosquitoes too.
Oh Lord, I hate to get behind one of those darn things. Man, you talk about bad for your lungs. My goodness.
It's just a massive spray.
Yeah, just a cloud.
You hit the trees and all that.
And
You know what kills me? What kills me is the idiots that will just leave water piled up and things like tires and stuff, and they just don't care, and they don't realize their kids are running outside, they're getting eaten alive
because
they're stupid.
Breeding ground.
I mean, they're just, it's like come live here, Hotel Mosquito.
Let me tell you, if people would walk around their property with a spray bottle of bleach, and any puddle of water that you see, spray that bleach into it, and you'll get rid of all your mosquitoes.
They don't care. I mean, they just don't care. It's like
But
just
these mosquitoes,
let them go.
I mean, it's like, oh wow, it's the good stuff, and they probably got these masks and everything. They're huffing that fog, when they come in, get them all hyped up, and then they go raid people. Stuff doesn't bother them. Gets them high.
It makes people feel good. Oh, they're spraying.
Yeah.
And you can get exterminators to come out and do the same thing. They'll just massively spray your property.
And I actually had one tell me the truth. He actually told me, he said, we can't tell you won't have mosquitoes.
Well, how could you? It's not like there's a border where they just stop.
Exactly. Now, when I go hiking, I bought one of these. It's an electronic device that sends out a very high-pitched noise. You wear it on your belt loop, you won't have any mosquitoes bother you.
I like the citronella.
See the fog. Well, it doesn't smell. That's the thing I like about it. That citronella. Yeah, I can smell that for a little while. After a while, it starts making me nauseous for some reason.
Do you think the bug zappers are just a feel-good thing, or does that really help?
Oh, I love bug zappers.
Okay.
We've got some tennis racket bug zappers. I mean, literally, we handed them out at our wedding, Jody and I did. Because, we were right on the river in the middle of the summer. It was 115 degrees the day we got married, it seemed like. So that night, everybody had a I forget how many of them I bought, but they're bug zappers, but they're in the shape of a tennis racket.
I've never seen those.
I'll have to get you one of them. I've got them put up in the attic, but people walking around, you hear them. It was hilarious, man.
They're getting the wedding pictures, and people are.
Yeah.
There's some in Mississippi I think might take it away from it. Yeah,
that's right.
There's some pretty big ones out there.
I've seen some mosquitoes carrying a cat off. They were going to take him off and drain him.
There's a guy I know, and he wanted to do something different for his wedding. He's a world traveler. He'd done a lot of covert work, we'll say. He was never high clearance, never military, but did a lot of military type things.
I got it.
And anyway, he decided when he finally got married, he was like 40 when he finally got married. And she was an federal lawyer, like a DOJ lawyer.
Oh, wow.
Huge, very, very, very intelligent lady.
Right.
He took her down to some island. And I mean, it is definitely different. I mean, it would be a memory. So they get all the paperwork, which they could take back to the U.S. and all that, right. But it would be honored. But anyway, it's like a hundreds of year old church. And they have this really old book that they open up and your name goes in. But they're out there outside. You get married outside the church. It's like, because they don't really use it anymore. It's more of a historical thing. And then they still use it for weddings, I think. So while they're getting married by this local guy, I mean, because this is the island, they're the only two white people in.
Did they speak English at all?
I think they did. I can't.
Broken English or something?
Yeah. But they had like chickens walking through. I mean, we're talking like I'm thinking of the scene in like um, in the movie. Oh, what was it? Sundance, and when they got down there, and he steps off the train. Where was they at? Bulgaria or something? I can't remember. And he's like, "What's this?" And they're walking around. Bolivia, yeah, and they're walking around, stepping
everywhere.
He's like, Butch was always trying to tell you it's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. What if this is the best they have here? I just, but I wonder. I always wonder. Years later, if she really liked that. He said it was very romantic. I don't know. Maybe so. I don't know. My wife would not have liked it. I'm telling you, my wife would not have liked it.
Right.
My wife would have been. We could have just went to Justice of Peace instead of doing this. My wife's very straightforward like that.
Right.
My wife did. We didn't do it. We did I told you we redid our vows with our pastor, but my wife did not want a crowd. She's not big on that, and she didn't want to do a traditional wedding or anything.
Right. She's
just one of those ladies that doesn't look at it like that. Now, some they would be devastated if you didn't do that. My wife, it's like, no, let's go to Ringo. I mean,
we got married on a dock by my brother-in-law.
Yeah. We did. I mean, there was nobody. We took nobody. We went off and did this just ourselves. We just went because honestly, there at that time our families weren't really close, and they're looking at me like I'm the evil man coming in taking the girl away, and my family's looking at her like who is this? So we just talked about it. We decided, you know what, love them all, but heck with them all. It's about me and you. Let's just go there. And that's what we did.
Well, that's what it was all about anyway. It wasn't about any of them.
Yeah, 30 years later, we redid our vows in Pigeon Forge by the river.
There you go.
With a few, or by the end, we had our kids and some grandkids and
close friends and stuff.
That was the only ones there, just family, and then the pastor and his wife. That was it.
Okay.
So, there's different ways to look at it. But we didn't have any mosquitoes that day. I don't remember any that would be eating you up.
Well, that's a good thing.
I got bit by something at a reenactment one time in Bridgeport, Alabama. And I felt it. I mean, you feel those bites. I mean, I didn't see what it was, though. I hit it, and my leg was, it stung bad. Well, I got back to, that was on a Saturday. By Monday, I was hurting. My leg was hurting. I was limping. I thought, okay, it's a little swollen, a little, but it got worse. Like I was, my leg was getting bigger. So after a few days, I went to the doctor, and he hears my story, and I see the look at his face, and I'm like, "Oh, this ain't good."
Yeah, you got a spider bite.
So he says, "You're going to be okay, but you better be glad you thank the Lord you came in." He said, "You would have lost your leg." He said, he gave me a shot. He gave me some medication. I was to go home and put my leg up, elevated, and stay off of it.
Yep.
Now, I didn't do that totally. I went back to work.
Well,
I propped my leg up on my desk in my office and only walked when I had to, but I did go back.
Yeah.
Because
you're lucky.
I know, but that was a weird deal.
Yeah. Well, a lot of those. I'm assuming you got do you know what you got bit by?
No.
It sounds like a brown recluse. Did you have necrosis of the meat around it? Did it die? Did all the skin die?
No, I didn't have that.
Then it wasn't a brown recluse. You got bit by something else.
I really don't know what it was.
But those things, the necrosis is what gets you. It just eats it. It kills the muscle. It kills the nerve. It kills everything it comes in contact with. That venom does. And you've got to have an anti-venom to go in there and stop it before it'll, be killed or whatever.
So, I think about these people who do all these hikes and stuff. They have to be diligent because, insects are everywhere. I mean, you're walking through the Appalachian Trail or whatever, unless it's really cold. I mean, you're dealing with a lot of different kinds of things that can really ruin your day in a quick minute.
Yeah.
What's the one I always talk about around here? The tick.
Rocky Mountain.
Yeah.
Fever tick.
That's the one that is most
a lot
talked
of ticks
about.
carry Lyme disease. That's the
Yeah.
big thing is Lyme disease. It can do a lot of things to the human body. But there's some doctors. If you've ever had a tick, you've got Lyme disease. Well, no, I don't have Lyme disease, and I've had, I would say, hundreds upon hundreds of ticks in my lifetime.
Years ago,
Especially as
I read a
kid.
story. It's not been that many years, a few years. Pardon me. And they were doing military research with these bugs to program them to do their bidding, basically. Basically, you can build an attack army of insects. Can you imagine that? I mean, we think about some of the imagery, some of the things the Bible speaks about. I think some of that is actual, like, military weapons.
Oh yeah.
Because of
We're
how could John describe some of that? But
Listen,
at times it talks about, locusts or whatever. And there may very well be, we know there's going to be bites and stuff like that go on, but these are like super, they're not like the normal. They're, these are going to be
Revelation
super.
talks about the locust.
Yes.
So
it could be other insects as well that will
Right.
just torture men
yeah.
from the inside and from the outside.
Well,
I wouldn't
I
want to mess
forgot
with
what I was going to say. I'm sorry. I had a train of thought there for a minute. It's fleeting.
The train is fleeting.
There went my thought.
Down the line.
On down the line,
It's still getting me, all this pollen and stuff. So I'm glad it's raining.
Yeah.
They called some of the local tracks up and down the line have called races tonight because they've looked at the forecast and they don't look good for some areas. So some of the dirt tracks are going to be closed for tonight.
See, that's why I like mud races.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if it's raining. Or
Tomorrow,
not.
Talladega, baby.
Talladega. Didn't Joe say he was going to Talladega?
I don't remember.
It seemed like he said he was going to Alabama.
He may have been. He goes there, so I can't remember that.
Well, we need to go to a NASCAR race. We need to take Dean to a NASCAR race.
Locust, anyone?
There you go. Put a little seasoning.
Filet, baby.
That's the way us rednecks do it. They put a little seasoning on, like a piranha or whatever.
We had a good time with the draft show last night, or the last 2 nights, and
yeah, I had fun the short time I was on.
I can't believe it. The Falcons actually selected a Georgia Bulldog player. All the stars lined up, and they worked. They didn't blow it. Zachariah Branch from the University of Georgia. This kid,
Gives him another
he's
weapon.
only 5'8" and something, but I'm telling you, this kid is so fast. Great
He's
hands.
got that breakaway speed.
He plays tough. Oh, he's got breakaway. But they actually did it.
Well, I hope he works out there.
Is snow racist because it's white and covers everything? I always look at it as a cleansing.
That's something you'd have to ask the cloud.
Depending on what area you're in, it may come down as not white.
Well,
There are some cities so dirty.
Would that make coal mines racist?
Coal mining.
Just saying. I mean, it's a bunch of Appalachian folks that work in it.
Could you be a coal miner?
No,
I couldn't do it.
I wouldn't do it.
I wouldn't want to do it for the health reasons, and I couldn't handle the thought of being trapped in a mountain or coming down on me. Or God bless those men. Some of those people are laying on their stomachs or backs, chiseling at rock. I mean, they're like inches away from their face.
Well, they're doing whatever they have to do to survive.
I know.
Provide for their family.
It's really good money. But black lung is a real thing.
Yeah, it is.
There are incidents where things happen. I couldn't do it.
Well, they use respirators and stuff.
It's not when it's mixed with stuff.
What does he say?
Snow is white.
Yeah.
I've seen
Yeller snow.
I've seen yellow black. Come on, dude.
Yeah. Seen brown snow.
Around
Stay
here,
away from that brown snow.
looks like Georgia a clay.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do we know what color it is over Chernobyl? I have no idea.
Chernobyl. I would say it's whatever it is glow in the dark.
There was an article just a few days ago where Zelensky, he was saying that Russia had fired several missiles within close range of Chernobyl, and they were worried that it was going to get hit and and exposed radiation. I get it, but he was talking. Man, these things were miles and miles away. I don't think there was much risk, honestly. I know they run very fast, but what do you mean I've never? What do you mean I've never seen snow?
Any vibration like that, from an explosion could, crack something at Chernobyl. If it produced
it could. I'm just saying on the ground, broski. I'm just saying on the ground. They wasn't white. What I've seen sometimes.
I have seen different colors.
And what if you're colorblind? How do you know what it is?
Yes, it's true. But if you just see in black and white, then you're going to see a lot of gray.
I've known many people who are colorblind.
As have I.
I'm glad I don't have that problem. I love to see the sea of colors, as they call them, and how beautiful that is, especially the fall color change and all that.
I was blessed with great vision most of my life, up until late.
Spiritually or physically?
Both. I mean, my physical vision is decreasing, but my spiritual is on the rise.
Amen.
So,
amen.
The Lord has given me, wisdom and visions, all kinds of different things.
I seen this another post. It was this morning. I was trying to think of what they were saying about young men, and they weren't getting involved in certain things as much. And a lady made a great point that a lot of young men today are doing the right thing. They're in church. They're serving the Lord.
A lot of, I will tell you what,
and they're not out doing stupid things.
It is growing. I live up in Ooltewah, and Silverdale's really big. Up in that area. Silverdale has many campuses. They got one in Athens. They've got one in Ooltewah. They got one Snow Hill. I think they got one in Chattanooga, I believe. They got them all over the place. And it's good preaching. But it's kind of weird when you get out, to go into these satellite places. Every once in a while, you have a live preacher, but most of the time it's coming from a big screen. So it's like you're at home watching it on TV. So some people say, well, what's the difference? I can sit at home and do this. Well, but could you have fellowship with all these people, all these like-minded people that you're supposed to be around? Could you have fellowship with them sitting in your house?
You would miss that. So.
And that is the blessing that people miss.
There's the small groups that come out of that.
There's a lot of things, and that's what.
And usually in those situations, not always, the music is local to the satellite. They just go to the screen for the preaching. Not always.
Exactly right.
The music
there, they have their own band.
Yeah.
But the preaching, comes over the TV.
Yeah. Well, I watched a lot of Billy Graham crusades over the TV. So.
I've watched a lot of different preachers over the TV. Some good, some bad.
Yeah, me too.
But
I would love to go listen. I can't remember his name. I follow him on Facebook. I think it is. The one in Canada that has been attacked so much up there. I mean, he don't mince words. I mean, he tells it like
wears the thing on his head.
No. This guy, he's just straight up preacher, man. They've come after him a bunch.
Wow, they're up in Canada.
And when they told him not to have services, he was having services.
They're anti-Christian.
You're not stopping me, but I can't think of his name right now. But he's a preacher, but he's out there. He's out in the streets preaching, which is illegal in a lot of parts of Canada.
I like J. John.
Yeah.
He is hilarious. He can, you talk about telling some good stories. and he's got that English accent, and he sounds kind of whiny at times, but I just love him. He's just a super, super likable guy, and he has some really good wisdom in the stories. I like the one about the pussy cat in the tree. The preacher said he could figure anything. He tied a rope to his car, and they were going to pull that limb down because the cat was out on a limb, couldn't get down. They got a rope around it, going to pull that limb down so that they could, get the kitten out of the tree. Well, he took off, had it tied to the car, and he started pulling away, and that limb started coming down. It got down just about to where they could get to it, and the rope broke. That thing shot back up, and there went that cat. It's like one of those siege things. That cat took off. They never could find the cat. So a couple of weeks later, he said he was outside at one of his parishioners' houses, and there was the little kitten, and he couldn't just come right out and say, "Hey, that's my cat," But he said, "Oh, what a nice little kitty. Where did you get it?" And they said, "Preacher, you're not going to believe this. But 2 weeks ago, we were out in the backyard, and my son was bugging me saying, 'Mama, I want a cat. Mama, I want a cat.' And she said, 'Well, you pray and ask the Lord to bring you a cat.' So he got down and prayed, and lo and behold, one fell out of the sky right in our yard. And there it is." So he said he couldn't take it back at that point because the kid was on fire. He thought God had actually thrown him a kitten down.
Well, the way he did.
Yeah.
I mean,
Exactly. In the way he did.
God works in mysterious ways.
That he does.
Have you heard about the country that is killing all the dogs? Massive numbers of dogs. I think they have the Olympics coming. It's in Europe. If I remember, I can't remember which one it
feral
is.
Dogs.
Yeah, and they are in the streets just gunning them down.
Unfortunately, if you don't have some sort of animal control, that's what will happen. That's the reason why we encourage people to spay and neuter your animal.
Yeah. Can you imagine just
unless
thousands upon thousands of wild dogs running around? I mean,
they're just running around multiplying.
Scary.
They've got to get food from somewhere.
Yeah.
We have a lot of scraps, that we could give them, but then they become dependent upon that, and they're still feral. And when they don't get what they want, then they'll turn on you. So you got to kill them. I mean, you just really don't have to.
I just have this image of you opening your door to take your trash out.
Yeah.
There's like 30 dogs waiting,
yeah.
And you're trying to say, "No, I'm taking it to the can." No,
we're getting that, buddy.
And then,
Toss it over here. Toss it over here.
Be like the Blues Brothers. "How much for your kids?"
Yeah.
We'll take out your kid. Give us the food.
I need to watch that movie.
That's one of the greatest scenes. They're like all these, uppity ups.
Yeah.
"How much for your kid? How much for your daughter?"
Yeah.
And they're just embarrassing the guy.
Belushi was a trip.
And at the end, the guy agrees to come in the band, and the guy's going, "Sir, sir." He just quits, heck with it. In the first place, they go play as a country western bar.
Yeah.
It's not even them supposed to be there. They're having to play country.
That was hilarious.
That whole scene. What I really like to do.
It was tense in there for a minute,
I ain't no George Jones or whatever he said. But he says, "I usually sign the check on the dashboard of the car." The good old boys.
Yeah.
Gosh, so who are y'all? We're the good old boys.
We're the good old boys. Just get them, boys. They had everybody on.
Oh man, what a funny movie! John cameo.
God.
Oh man, what?
That cracked me up. We're on a mission from.
They tried to duplicate. You just can't. You can't duplicate that movie. I don't care.
No.
People
like Blazing Saddles.
Yeah,
you could not make that movie today.
That was magic.
People get butthurt.
Magic in a bottle, and you just can't. You can't get it back. I was reading an article this morning of how Disney has destroyed the Star Wars machine, you know, and nobody
Oh,
likes their movies.
They're making
they went woke.
cartoons. They're making spin-offs. They're doing all kinds of stuff.
They said it's failing, and people are turning away from it in the droves, and the numbers are not there.
Yep.
They have the Mandolin and the Grogu or whatever movie coming out. They say where they usually just dominate. It's still a lot of money, but nothing like it was, and people are very upset. You know, and I've talked to friends who have said, it's trash. I won't watch it no more.
Disney, they've been trying to tell us for years. I mean, look at Pinocchio. Where'd they send the boys? To an island. They're pedophiles.
Mm.
They were telling us.
Well, and people,
and there's all kinds of things. I don't like to watch Disney movies. I don't have the Disney Channel.
I don't, you know.
I'm not gonna.
There are faith-based movies I wouldn't seen, but think about it. The movie prices are up. All the stuff that you have to, if you want to buy something, is very high. And then you sit through 25 minutes of propaganda as they just pump different things in your head through their clips and everything.
That's the reason why.
And then you watch the movie, and it's just filled with, you know, all kinds of, you know, socialist woke ideology and stuff. And who wants to? I mean, you're paying to be
manipulated.
Well, you know, and maybe it could be strong-minded.
They think people are stupid, and you know they could be.
That's it.
Subliminally to you.
Yeah, thank you, Bruce. I couldn't remember what it was.
Morocco.
But it was Morocco, and I was thinking Europe. You're right, and it's the World Cup. Sorry, I had that wrong. Thanks for looking that up. But I did. I saw pictures of it where they're currently being killed ahead of that. So they got to clearing the dog population. Thank you for that.
You don't want people getting bit on the way into the Olympics.
But you know, it's just
get out of the car and you're mauled by a pack of wild dogs.
Well, I mean, just think about if you were doing that here. I mean, think about it. People.
We wouldn't let that.
They will. Yeah, but they'll deal with drive-bys. But they won't. You know, if you go out and started killing dogs, I mean, they would be. There'd be an army of people show up to stop you.
They're I call that whole group tree huggers. They're tree huggers. That's what all of them are.
But I mean, people. I think it's the tourists that are appalled. The locals are like, whatever, do it. You know, they're a nuisance because we have so many, and unfortunately, because they didn't handle it, they have to do it like that.
Yeah, I want to tell you, there's a lot.
But I'll tell you what's going on in the United States.
Well, there's a lot of people moving here to our area from other places, and they're trying to bring their politics here. Listen, that's the reason why you're moving, because politics didn't work there. Don't bring it here.
They show up if these deer herds. They determine they'll show up with the guns, but they have like a different kind. But they're like the lab coat dudes, man. They show up and they just start killing your herd off. They bring like a lot of times I've heard about this in Texas. They bring the rangers to
killed thousands of chickens or millions of chickens.
A lot of chickens, yeah.
And anyway, we're getting back into politics. I don't want to talk about that crap anymore. Yes. The Last Jedi. I can't read that. I can't see it.
Remember, his vision is failing.
The Last Jedi was the last one I watched in 2017. They made a girl with no training all of a sudden a powerful Jedi. Maybe it was in her. She had Sith in her blood.
So she took out all the Sith.
Yeah, it was beyond cheesy.
I mean, the vehicle is not what it was.
No.
I mean, when Lucas had it, I mean, you know. And even he got criticized for some of the things he did, but it was still a very powerful franchise. It still turned some money.
Star Wars was huge when it first came out. Through the 70s, 80s, 90s, Star Wars was big.
And they probably are the leader and one of them in merchandise sales. I mean, think about all the different things that they have sold.
That and Star Trek.
Star Trek's huge too. I don't think it comes anywhere close to Star Wars.
No,
but it's still
Star Wars was the original. The Comic-Cons and all of that stuff, Star Wars started a lot of that.
The Star Trek definitely has their following. The Trekkies. It's Trekkies is an official term. That's another, they reinvented themselves. They've had some successes, but they're kind of looking for the next generation of thing. No pun intended. But I did like the Star Trek Next Generation. But
Yeah,
Enterprise
I like
didn't take
Picard.
off like they thought it would. The
That's the one that had the guy from Quantum Leap in it, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
Scott Bakula.
Yeah.
I liked it, but it was I had
I like that Quantum Leap.
Quantum Leap.
That was a good show. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No, no, no. I was just thinking today. A lot of people today, and I've never been in. My sisters, I think, still are. They're in or out of Netflix. That's the big thing today. A lot of people are Netflixers, and they went up on price. Some people have jumped out. I've never been in. I have watched it. I've used my sister's.
Listen, I want to tell you what.
There was one show I wanted to see. That's all I wanted to see.
Right. It's like Comcast and all these, cable places. They cater to the new people, not their clientele. All right. We've been a customer, this is what got me away from cable. I've been a customer 10 years. And people were coming in and getting a better deal than I was getting. You take care of those that have been around for a while.
You should.
No, that's not.
Well, I told you on all these, you got to call up every year and say you're going to quit and watch the deals come in.
Right.
I do Sirius radio like that. They start trying to go up on me. I just call them and tell them I don't have to call. I just go into the chat and tell them I'm canceling my service. Here come the deals. I get it beat back down to where I'm okay. Poor O'Dean, I don't know how they ripped him, man. He had 3 accounts going at the same time. He tells me like he's paying $90-something a month for satellite radio. I'm like, what the heck are you like? You got extra accounts in other people's cars
and everywhere else.
Is there like another level I've never seen before?
Yeah.
So he said no. So I went on. We was right here in the studio. I went on the website and I'm like, look, dude, the maximum price is this plus tax. I mean,
you're paying that 3 times.
Yeah.
You got 3 subscriptions.
So he calls them and they're like, yeah, you have 3 accounts. Somebody did that though on purpose, man. I'm telling you, that's not an accident. Somebody took advantage of it. He'd been paying that for 3 years, man. I'm like, I've never heard of anybody paying that much for satellite radio.
Some people are going to be sad when they realize that it's no longer there.
That's just crazy.
I'll be right back.
Biscuit Boy's on the move.
Yeah. Oh, he's moving slow this morning, though.
I've been moving slow for a few days.
Tell you what, some parts just wake up faster than others,
Our first Star Wars movie, A New Hope, was released the year of my birth, 1977. I remember that year well. That was also the year of Smokey and the Bandit, I believe.
That's one of the best movies ever made.
I grew up with those first 3 movies, dressed as an X-Wing starfighter, pilot Luke for Halloween at Tower 2. Oh, it's cool.
Does that bother the thing there?
No. It's not bright today. Biscuit Boy stepping out on the stoop. We got to build a porch in front of a deck rather in front of the studio. Put the grill out there. We're going to have some outdoor stuff going on. The weather's nice.
Well, it's a fire pit.
A fire pit. Yeah, we need a fire pit. There's a pig in the ground. I went to the movie. I don't know that. I can't remember if I went to the movies and saw the first one. Probably did. I can't remember. But I definitely saw. Which one was it? I know I saw the third one there because I remember going with friends. Because in 1977, I would have been 12 years old. So it was a perfect, time. You just can't stop it. You just can't. Oh, can you imagine doing a trip? Oh, it'd be hilarious. On a trip, Paul is the person that says he has to stop every hour and get out and walk around. It's not the wild.
Milk jug with me.
My wife,
if
when
you
we
gotta pee on a spree, you gotta go.
My wife, she was always ready to hit the road. I mean, that was her most exciting thing. If I said pack a bag,
we're going somewhere, honey.
That was her favorite time, was to get ready. But on the road,
well, my wife,
she'd have to stop every hour. I mean, use the bathroom. So I just timed it. I figured out the exits, and And I
Well,
just,
I mean, it's about like gas. You need to stop about every hour and get gas.
what the heck are you driving? I can go for 3 or 4 hours before I'm getting
man,
gas.
Shoot, pulling a camper, dude. I get everybody there 50 miles. I got to stop, fill up,
Man.
50 miles. But I don't let it get below half tank. So it can go 100, but I'm not doing. I ain't taking a chance on running out of gas with a camper. I carry 10 gallons of extra gas with me, when I go, just in case we get out in the middle of somewhere and can't get any gas. But
The Boy Scout motto: be prepared.
that's exactly right.
I never let it get below a quarter. I if I'm near one or we pull off and it's a half a tank, I'll fill up. If it's a quarter, I stop when it gets to be a quarter. Next exit.
Me too. I never let it get down to E ever.
No, that's crazy.
No.
These people. But I will tell you, one time in my life, I was a teenager. I didn't have a lot of money. I had,
Yeah.
I really did this. It was the most dumb thing. But I would just put a buck or back then gas was pretty cheap. But I'd put a buck or two in the car. I'd drive around, and I was constantly stopping and getting gas. One time I ran out of gas right in front of the station because the traffic was heavy. I pushed it too far. Oh, I never did that again. I was like, not good.
Yeah,
I had some guys jump out, help me push it up in there, I think, or I might have had a can. I think I just go over and get the gas and come back and throw it in there and then get it started and pull it.
Get it going again.
I saw this old couple.
Not vapor lock.
No, I've never had a car do that. Not one time. Ever.
I've had one.
I remember one time I was at the gas station. This is when they first started what I call hiding. I ain't gonna say it was the first time, but most models the first time they really started hiding the gas tank, the gas lid.
Yeah.
And these people had bought a brand new car. They filled it up for them, and they have driven until it's time to get gas. And they have looked this car over, and the gentleman says, "Sir, could you help us? We cannot find our." He said, "I know it sounds crazy.
Stupid.
I think I'm losing my mind. I can't find the gas tank."
Look in your glove box.
No, I just looked, and I kind of knew, and I said, "No problem." And I walked over and pulled that tag down, and he went, "Are you kidding me?"
Yep.
He said, "We've looked at everything on this car except the tag." But it was one of those had the fold down tag.
I remember.
I don't remember what kind of car it was.
It was a
Chevrolet. He says, "We've been sitting here and nobody's helped us." He said, "You're the," he said, "I appreciate you helping." He said, "Nobody's asked, you
Chevrolet had the pull down license plate.
You've had them. You said glove compartment? There's actually, I don't ever heard of that.
No, the glove compartment would have the manual in it that would tell you where the gas.
My God, the glove compartment. What a novel idea that would be. Not. I didn't know where he was going with that.
Strange things in the glove compartment, but I've never seen a gas tank in the glove compartment.
I just see some good old boy.
Riding down the road, filling that bugger up with gas, No, don't like that.
Dude, you
like
just
Cheech and Chong. You ever seen Cheech and Chong?
Yeah.
I think it's Cheech and Chong's next movie. They're walking down the road with that garbage can full of gas. And they get down to that beautiful yellow T-Bird, 55 T-Bird. And they start dumping that gas, and it's going everywhere. And they're trying to get trash out of the way, so it'll go into the tank. And they get back in. They're both covered, soaked in gas. And he pulls out a joint. They're sitting at a light, and you hear Cheech say, "No, don't light." Boom! And it just explodes in smoke. It's hilarious.
I was watching an old Cops show just yesterday.
Yeah. And
I think I've seen it before, but the guy goes up and they roll the window down and like the marijuana smoke is just piling out. And he goes, the cop's like, "My God, man, it's like a Cheech and Chong movie." And they're laughing. You can tell they're stoned out of their mind because they're implicating themselves, but they try not to, but they can't help it because they're laughing at him. They couldn't stop laughing. So the guy's like, "How much have I had?" He said, "A bowl."
Just one bowl.
He said, "A piece?"
Yeah.
He said, "Yeah."
The officely honester is just one bowl.
I was in a very progressive Boy Scout troop when I was a kid. We were clearing brush on a Saturday. We rolled up, and I didn't, but I was in the car, and all these teenagers were smoking down this little bitty 4-door sedan. I can't even remember what it was. It was small. They had big. The whole back was filled with speakers. We're jamming. The Scoutmaster steps out, and they're like, "Oh my God, there's this guy." They roll the windows down.
Whoa.
Smoke's coming out. He goes,
Looks like cars on fire.
and I guess his nose was burned up or something as an older man.
Yeah.
He said, "You boys need to slow down on them cigarettes."
Yes, sir.
I'm sitting here like eyes wide open, scared to death. I think
Yeah.
I was 14 years old,
Yeah.
and these 16, 17-year-olds, they're just,
And if you didn't smoke anything, you still got a contact back.
Oh, man, it was- my dad would have killed every one of them if he had known that. But he walked around that corner, and they're like, "Oh, man, I can't believe he didn't realize what we're doing." I don't know if he did or if he did. He did. He thought it was cigarette smoke. He's like, "Man, y'all need to slow down. Crack a window."
Yeah. It was a different time back then.
My neighbors back in the day, they smoked so much. You know, you get that cloud that just
Yeah.
floats around along the.
Now the walls turn yellow. You got tar, about a 1/4 inch thick on all of their pictures. You can't hardly see. It looks like they're antique. Wipe it off, and it's made 2 years ago.
I had some friends.
Yeah.
We'd meet at his house. A friend we'd meet at his house. A lot of us would watch football, Georgia, and different things, and
Yeah.
they all smoked, and it would just get on my nerves. I never liked cigarettes. It was burning my
I
eyes.
did.
So I said, I'm gonna take care of this. So I said, "You don't mind if I smoke a cigar?" I remember that. I didn't know you smoked cigars. Yeah, no, man, go ahead. I just one of them big cigars, dude. Within about 10 minutes, man, everybody's like, "Man,"
Yeah.
I said,
That
"Is it a
stuff's thick."
problem?" Because when I said something about the cigarette smoke, they're like, didn't like it. So I said, "This is a problem." "Oh no."
Yeah, no, it's all right, man. You're good. You're good, dude.
We got a refrigerator from those folks. They gave it to us. They got a new. It was a nice refrigerator. We could never get the cigarette smell out of the ice, so we ended up getting rid of it.
Really?
We did everything we could think of. It just always had that cigarette smell in the ice.
Wow.
It was disgusting. But that's how heavy they smoked. And I listen. I'm not one of those people that's anti-smoker. I don't care if you smoke. I could care less.
Yeah.
Did you hear that England, is it England that's banning if you're under a certain age smoking? Banned against the law.
Listen, I want to tell you what. There's an agenda called the 2030 agenda.
Yeah.
And it's looking at banning all tobacco products in the world.
Yeah.
You know why?
Well, the nicotine.
What's the first? What when you get a virus? What is the first thing that virus goes after?
I don't know.
Nicotine receptors in your body. It tries to destroy the nicotine receptors in your body because nicotine will kill it.
So you're saying that we're going to have a lot of illegal
There-
tobacco growing
people-
going on?
Oh yeah, that'll be. But there'll be a small group of healthy people that either chew tobacco or smoke it or something. That's the only way that you can get it in nightshade vegetables like eggplant is full of it, tomatoes, potatoes, so on and so forth. But eggplant is right with tobacco in the amount of nicotine that it has. So every time you eat eggplant, it's like you're smoking a pack of cigarettes.
So apparently, if you are already a certain age, you are grandfathered in.
Yeah.
But for all those after a certain age, everybody after that, it is against the law. I think they just passed this, or they are in the process of in England. There's going to be some ticked off people in England. I mean, ticked off people. Not only do they have to deal with open borders and all the crap that's going on in their country,
it's that way,
and a woke king and all that crap they got going on.
Yeah.
Now they've banned. I mean, at least they could have a good smoke with their brew. If they outlaw booze, the country will be taken over by the people.
Yeah.
Can
Or
you
tea.
imagine? Or tea? Yeah. Oh my gosh, a little tea. Oh, it's outlawed. We're taking over.
Yeah. We're not going to take it anymore.
Well, folks, that's our morning show. We keep that at a brisk hour. We're going to get out of here. We may do another one, but we will see
Brisk
you
hour.
next Saturday. We try to keep that one pretty tight. And Thank you for watching the Cornbread Man and Biscuit Boy Morning Show, only
you very
found
much.
here at the Wolf Nation and Southern Patriots podcast on Saturday mornings at 8:30-ish. Sometimes we're running a little bit late ourselves, but we appreciate you stopping in. A lot of laughs. Appreciate you. Give us a like, follow, share. Scan that QR code up there. That's our Substack. Will be going live to and from there soon.
And the Wolf Nation coffee on the other side.
Well, that's actually our buy coffee. The Wolf Nation we'll put on the screen as we go out.
My bad.
Now, that's buy coffee. It's another way people support us. We have a few
Okay.
supporters that do that. Hence the coffee cup. You're not really buying a coffee, but in a way you are. We appreciate you, though. And you can, the coffee we'll put on as we go out. Take care, my friends. Thank you, Paul. Biscuit Boy,
Peace.
Putnam. We appreciate you being here.
I love it. Wouldn't
And
miss it.
Absolutely. See y'all next time.